It's time for another installment of Flashpoint, and this week, Bridgett Ellison sits down with Jason Guinness from the University of Phoenix to talk about Florida's teacher shortage and the benefits of making a career switch.
Good morning, I'm Bridgett Ellison. Even with this school year more than halfway finished, Florida classrooms are still in need of hiring more teachers. The need is growing every year, and our state is home to thousands of teachers who actually made a career switch from one industry to go into teaching. And joining us today on Flashpoint, Jason Guinness, Central Florida Campus College Chair for the University of Phoenix College of Education. Welcome to Flashpoint.
Great to be here.
And you're one of those teachers who made a big career change to go into teaching many years ago. Talk to us about what happened.
Well, basically, my heart has always been into public service and affecting the lives of others positively, so I went into law enforcement. I was a federal agent for the U.S. Department of Justice in Detroit, Michigan. And then 4 years into it, a coworker, I had an aha moment because a coworker came to me and she told me, "You would make a great educator." And she kind of knows what she's talking about. She knew what she was talking about because she had several members of her family that were educators. So I started thinking, hey, I definitely would be able to affect more lives as a teacher. And so I got into it, and I haven't looked back. And just like me, 37% of teachers and new teachers in Florida, they're career changers.
And let's talk about this shortage that Florida is facing compared to other states. What's happening here?
Well, basically, it's baby boomers retiring, and also Florida's Florida. Everybody wants to come down here, so we have a high ratio of population growth compared to other states. And so that produces the teacher shortage. And actually, the numbers are close to 12,000 per year that we're going to need for the foreseeable future, according to the Florida Department of Education. And so that produces around a 7,000 teacher gap, because Florida institutions of higher learning could only produce around 5,000 per year.
And so, you know, we looked at a survey that was released in May of last year from the University of Phoenix, and that showed 47% of K through 12 teachers were actually inspired to go into teaching by someone who taught them. So it really is a network when this profession, you know, spreads from one generation to the next. Let's talk about that some.
Well, yeah, basically, I mean, this is the greatest profession out there. In terms of job satisfaction, it's a profession where you see your hard work every day. The fruit the fruit of your hard work, you see it every day through the growth of children. And so you put in hard work, but you see it through student achievement every single day. And so the job satisfaction rate is around 93%, according to the survey that the University of Phoenix conducted.
And, you know, you transitioned from the classroom now into administration with the University of Phoenix. And tell us about what, you know, the college is doing, the College of Education is doing to try to help fix this shortage issue we have.
Well, basically, all the stakeholders are collaborating to find creative ways to get new teachers into the classroom. The University of Phoenix, we collaborate with all our surrounding districts, surrounding our campuses here in Central Florida, and we created an alternative certification program. What this program does, it gives a way to people that are in other industries to come into teaching and to get their teaching certificate.
And so how is that more flexible for people who maybe think, oh, I don't know if I have time or if I can get, you know, make this switch to go into teaching for my current career?
Well, basically, I mean, that's what we are. The University of Phoenix was created specifically for working adults versus traditional students that come out of high school. And so our programs are highly flexible in terms of giving time to the students, working with them because of their careers, because they have the children and because they don't have the time. Also, the University of Phoenix, one of our fortes is also that our faculty, they're practitioners. So they're doing this every day out in the field, and they bring that experience into the classroom. In fact, the College of Education, the faculty's average experience in the field is 19 years.
That's awesome. Well, when we come back, we'll talk more with Jason about which subjects are most popular for newer teachers coming into the classroom and why now is a great time to teach. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bridgett Ellison. Today on Flashpoint, we're talking to Jason Guinness, Central Florida Campus College Chair for the University of Phoenix College of Education. Welcome back, and thanks for being here. And we were talking about the different ways that people can transition from one career to teaching, and we wanted to talk to you about the subjects that there are critical needs for right now. Which subjects are you really seeing a shortage and you need new teachers to fill those gaps?
Well, basically what we call the STEM subjects, which are science, technology, and mathematics. We're also seeing critical shortages in English and in special education. We really need teachers in those subjects. Okay.
And what about parent involvement?
Parent involvement is key. I mean, I can't stress how important it is. In the survey that we spoke about earlier, there's a very high percentage, 74% of teachers said that they would like to see more parental involvement in the classroom, whether it be more communication between the teacher and the parents asking, being proactive and asking what areas my child needs to get better in so they could do it at home, or volunteering at the school. But they are key. We need parents to get involved in their children's education.
Certainly. And why is now a great time to be a teacher here in 2016?
Well, basically, the high need for teachers that we have and all the career opportunities out there, and specifically in Florida, we have a lot of career advancement opportunities, and it's very exciting now because now with the ed tech, education technology, teachers get the opportunity to introduce these technologies such as social media into the classroom, so it's very exciting.
Okay. And where can people get more information, prospective teachers, get more information about the alternative teaching certification program we talked about earlier?
Well, they could go to phoenix.edu, and we have a lot of information there on all our programs. We have something that's called Phoenix Career Services as well, where prospective students could go in and research careers and what career path and how to get there. And also the Florida Department of Education, their website, which is fldoe.edu, I believe. They also have a wealth of information on how to become a teacher and what pathways you could utilize to get there.
And what about resources at the University of Phoenix Central Florida campus? What sort of resources are here locally for those interested?
Well, basically, that's another forte that our university has. I mean, we have leading edge technology in our campuses, and we have all the resources available to the students. We have computer rooms, we have our enrollment personnel there, and we have our e-library that they could access from the Student Resource Center.
Yeah, well, hopefully this information has been helpful. Jason, thank you so much for all of this information. And if you want more information, certainly look into the University of Phoenix Central Florida campus and get into the classroom and help make a difference. We will be right back with more news and weather in just a few minutes.